Also, live at 5, frustrated Georgia families stuck making payments on cars that are...
Or a Ford Focus with a 1-liter engine is in a difficult spot.
They promised Ford's quality was improving, that the recalls were just growing pains from new technology. Meanwhile, Ford just set a record no automaker ever wanted to break: 90 recalls in 6 months. That's one safety campaign every 2.06 days. Your Ford might be the next ticking time bomb sitting in your driveway tonight. They said the worst was behind us, that Ford had learned from their mistakes and was building better vehicles. They were setting you up for the biggest automotive disaster in modern history. Ford's 90th recall of 2025 hit the books 3 days ago, and we're only halfway through the year. While you're making payments on what you thought was reliable transportation, Ford's engineering department is apparently run by people who've never seen a car before. This isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet that make accountants nervous. This is about Lisa's Bronco Sport that won't close its windows when it rains, leaving her interior soaked like a swimming pool. This is about families stranded on highways when transmissions explode without warning. This is about fuel injectors that crack and spray gasoline onto hot engine parts, turning your morning commute into a potential highway inferno. Ford has officially become the most recalled automaker in automotive history, and they're not slowing down. Every Ford owner needs to hear what's coming next, because the worst recalls are still being announced. Comment below if you've gotten a recall notice this month, because you're not alone in this nightmare. Let's put this insanity into perspective with math that'll make your calculator overheat. Ford has issued recalls at a pace that would make other manufacturers file for bankruptcy from the warranty costs alone. GM issued 12 recalls this year. Stellantis managed 6. Ford? They've lapped the competition so many times they're in a different race entirely. 90 recalls in 6 months means Ford is finding new ways to endanger their customers faster than most people change their oil. But here's what the raw numbers don't tell you about the hidden costs that Ford owners haven't calculated yet. Each recall means dealer visits that eat your vacation days, lost work time while you sit in waiting rooms that smell like stale coffee and broken dreams, rental car expenses when parts aren't available, which is always. The recall notices arrive in your mailbox like clockwork now. Ford owners joke that they need a separate filing cabinet just for the safety campaigns, but the laughter stops when you realize these aren't minor issues. We're talking about fires, crashes, and mechanical failures that could kill you. And Ford's response? We're committed to quality. Sure you are, Ford. Your commitment is really showing. Meet Lisa Rodriguez, a Denver nurse who bought her 2023 Bronco Sport brand new for $32,000. She thought she was getting Ford's latest and greatest compact SUV. Instead, she got a rolling reminder of why Ford leads the recall charts. The passenger window refuses to close completely, Lisa explains, standing next to her Bronco in the hospital parking lot where she works night shifts. I press the button, it goes up 3 inches, then slides back down. Rain pours straight into the cabin like I'm driving a convertible I never asked for. Lisa took her Bronco to the dealer 3 times. Each visit, they told her the same thing. Parts are on back order, and there's no timeline for the fix. Meanwhile, Colorado's spring storms have soaked her interior so thoroughly that the seats squish when you sit down. At least the truck washes itself now, Lisa laughs dryly, but her frustration is real, and her patience is gone. Her Bronco Sport is part of Ford's rear window regulator recall, affecting 456,000 vehicles. The fix takes 15 minutes when parts are available. They've been back-ordered for 4 months. Ford's solution? Keep driving your swimming pool on wheels. Ford leadership claims these recalls prove their commitment to quality and customer safety. CEO Jim Farley stood before investors last month, spinning the narrative that finding problems shows Ford's dedication to excellence. Every recall demonstrates our proactive approach to vehicle safety, Farley announced during the quarterly earnings call, his voice confident despite the mounting warranty costs that would bankrupt smaller companies. But contrast those corporate words with Lisa's waterlogged seats. Compare that executive optimism with the reality of families stranded on highways when their transmissions explode like grenades. Match that PR spin against fuel injectors spraying gasoline onto hot manifolds. Ford's commitment to quality apparently means selling you a defective product, then asking you to bring it back for free repairs when the inevitable failures occur. Their proactive approach involves waiting until government regulators force their hand with safety investigations. The disconnect between corporate messaging and owner reality has never been wider, and it's getting worse every quarter. Sure, Jim, your commitment to quality is really showing. Tell that to the 700,000 people driving potential fire hazards to work every morning. Let's dig into Ford's most dangerous recall of 2025. 700,000 Escape and Bronco Sport SUVs with cracked fuel injectors that could turn your morning commute into a highway inferno that makes action movies look tame. Picture this scenario that keeps Ford engineers awake at night. You're sitting in traffic on a hot summer day. The fuel injector cracks under pressure. Gasoline sprays directly onto the exhaust manifold, which runs at 1,200 degrees Fahrenheit. The fuel ignites instantly. Now you have seconds to escape a burning vehicle while surrounded by other cars in gridlocked traffic. Your family is in the backseat. The doors might not open if the electrical system fails. The windows might not roll down if the power cuts out. Ford's solution? A 15-minute procedure to replace the fuel injector. Simple fix, right? Wrong. The replacement parts are back-ordered for months. Ford dealers across the country report waiting lists that stretch into 2026. Meanwhile, 700,000 Ford owners are driving potential fire hazards to work every day, hoping their fuel injectors hold together for one more mile. They're literally playing Russian roulette with gasoline and hot metal. The 10-speed automatic transmission recall affects nearly every Ford model, and it's the stuff of nightmares for anyone who's ever parked on a hill. Vehicles equipped with this transmission can suddenly shift into gear and roll away, even when parked with the engine off. Imagine walking behind your parked F-150 to grab groceries from the bed. The transmission ghost shifts into reverse. 2 tons of truck starts rolling backward with you directly in its path. No warning, no engine noise, just silent, deadly momentum that could crush you like a bug. Ford has documented 43 cases of unexpected vehicle movement. That's 43 families who watched their trucks roll into traffic, down driveways, or through garage doors. That's 43 near misses that could have been fatalities if timing had been slightly different. The mechanical betrayal runs deeper than just rolling vehicles. Owners report transmissions that shift randomly while driving, engines that stall at highway speeds, and gear selectors that display park while the truck is actually in drive. Problem solved, one mechanic jokes grimly, if you never park anywhere. But Ford's transmission problems are just getting started, and the worst failures haven't hit the headlines yet. Rear-view camera failures have turned parking into a guessing game for thousands of Ford owners. The screens go black at the worst possible moments, leaving drivers to navigate by mirrors and prayer. Sarah Chen discovered this problem while backing out of a crowded Target parking lot with her kids in the car. The screen just went black right as I was reversing between 2 cars, Sarah recalls. I had to pull forward and try again, hoping I wouldn't hit someone's door, or worse, someone's child. The camera glitches aren't random. They follow a pattern that suggests deeper electrical problems throughout Ford's infotainment systems. The screens flicker like dying fluorescent lights, freeze on old images from yesterday's drive, or display error messages in multiple languages that even Ford technicians can't decode. Nearly every Ford subsystem now has its own recall code. The cameras fail, the transmissions ghost shift, the fuel injectors crack, the windows won't close, the engines stall. It's like Ford's quality control department took a permanent vacation and left a note saying, "Good luck." At least the radio still works, one owner posted on social media, for now. Ford's 90 recalls dwarf the competition so completely that it's embarrassing for American automotive manufacturing. GM and Stellantis combined have issued just 18 recalls this year. Ford has issued 5 times more safety campaigns than their 2 biggest domestic competitors put together. Visualize Ford dealerships drowning in warranty work while Chevy and Ram dealers handle normal maintenance schedules. Ford service departments are booking recall appointments 3 months out. Their competitors are offering same-day service for routine repairs. The numbers tell a story of systematic quality failure that goes beyond bad luck or isolated incidents. This is institutional breakdown of manufacturing standards, quality control, and pre-delivery testing that would make Toyota engineers weep. Ford's warranty costs are approaching $2 billion for 2025 alone. That's money that could have been spent on better engineering, improved testing, or higher quality parts. Instead, it's going toward fixing problems that should never have left the factory floor. Some Chevy owners suddenly feel lucky, and that's not a sentence anyone expected to write in 2025. When Chevrolet looks reliable by comparison, you know Ford has hit rock bottom and started digging. The iconic Ford Mustang is dying a slow, painful death in showrooms across America. Sales have collapsed 31% year over year, while the electric Mustang Mach-E somehow rises from the ashes of the original's reputation. This isn't just a sales slump. This is the systematic destruction of America's last remaining muscle car. The Camaro is dead. The Challenger is gone. The Charger has been discontinued. Only the Mustang remains, and Ford is killing it, with recalls, quality problems, and pricing that makes a Corvette look reasonable. The 2025 Mustang GT starts at $61,420 for a mid-trim automatic. That's BMW money for Ford quality. That's luxury car pricing for a vehicle that might get recalled before you finish the paperwork. Meanwhile, the Mustang Mach-E electric crossover outsells the real Mustang by 2,000 units per quarter. Ford has successfully convinced buyers that an electric SUV wearing a Mustang badge is more reliable than the actual Mustang. At least, the electric sibling is moving metal, dealers whisper, but even they know this isn't victory. It's automotive grave robbing disguised as innovation. The Bronco Sport has become TikTok's favorite automotive disaster, with owners posting daily videos of their SUVs falling apart in creative new ways. The infotainment screens black out mid-drive, leaving drivers without navigation, climate control, or backup cameras. The brake systems grind and clunk when backing up, making sounds that would embarrass a 1980s Buick. Jake Morrison posted a viral video of his 2024 Bronco Sport's dashboard lighting up like a Christmas tree. 12 warning lights came on simultaneously while I was driving to work, Jake explains in the video that's been viewed 2.3 million times. The car kept running, but I had no idea if I was about to explode or just lose power steering. The fuel leak recall adds genuine danger to the comedy of errors. Owners report the smell of gasoline in their cabins, fuel stains on garage floors, and the constant anxiety of driving a potential fire hazard. Ford's solution involves replacing fuel lines that were apparently designed by people who've never seen gasoline before. Built Ford tough. On me, apparently, reads one meme caption that perfectly captures the Bronco Sport ownership experience. The Ford Explorer's transmission problems have reached legendary status among automotive disasters, and the Martinez family learned this lesson the hardest way possible. Their 2022 Explorer's transmission exploded at 65 miles per hour on Interstate 25, leaving them stranded in the middle of Colorado's mountain passes with 2 young children in the back seat. "We heard this grinding noise, then nothing," explains Maria Martinez, still shaken by the experience months later. "The car just stopped accelerating on a busy highway. Cars were swerving around us while we coasted to the shoulder." Ford replaced the transmission under warranty, assuring the family that the new unit would be reliable. 3 months later, the replacement transmission failed in exactly the same way, at exactly the same speed on exactly the same stretch of highway. The Martinez family traded their Explorer for a Lexus the next week, and Maria admits that decision was easy to make. "We couldn't trust it with our kids' lives," she says. "Ford had 2 chances to get it right, and they failed both times." When a company gets 2 chances and blows them both, that's not bad luck, that's institutional incompetence. The Ford Maverick was supposed to be America's affordable truck, the vehicle that would bring young buyers back to Ford showrooms. Instead, it's become a rolling advertisement for why you shouldn't buy the cheapest option available. Tommy Chen's 2023 Maverick displays 12 different warning lights on any given day, and the truck is still 3 months away from its warranty expiration. The check engine light, transmission warning, brake system alert, tire pressure monitor, and 8 other indicators create a dashboard light show that would make Las Vegas jealous. "The car is about to be out of warranty, so we're going to have to pay out of pocket to fix everything," Tommy explained, scrolling through his phone's photos of the various warning combinations. When it hits 36,000 miles, Ford washes their hands of all these problems. The looming out-of-pocket nightmare keeps Tommy awake at night. Each warning light represents a potential repair bill that could exceed the truck's remaining value. Ford's cheapest truck might become the most expensive mistake he's ever made. They sold him affordable transportation and delivered a financial time bomb with a countdown timer. While Ford owners scroll through recall notices like morning newspapers, there's a bulletproof alternative sitting in used car lots across America, the Lexus GX 460. This SUV represents everything Ford forgot about building reliable vehicles. The GX 460 uses a proven 4.6-liter V8 that's been refined over 2 decades. No turbochargers to fail, no CVT transmissions to explode, no complex hybrid systems to confuse technicians, just a naturally aspirated engine that starts every morning and runs for 300,000 miles with basic maintenance. Toyota's recall history for the GX 460 reads like a pamphlet compared to Ford's encyclopedia of failures. one minor recall for floor mat positioning in 2010. That's it. That's the entire safety campaign history for a vehicle that's been in production for 15 years. The GX460 costs more upfront than a comparable Ford, but the math works in your favor over time. No recall repairs, no warranty extensions, no class action lawsuits, just reliable transportation that doesn't require a dedicated filing cabinet for safety notices. Costs more now, but not in therapy later, jokes one former Ford owner. The Ram 2500 with the Cummins turbo diesel offers another escape route from Ford's recall nightmare. And the irony isn't lost on anyone paying attention. Stellantis, the company that owns Ram, has issued just 6 recalls this year compared to Ford's 90. The Cummins 6.7-liter diesel has powered work trucks through millions of miles without the dramatic failures plaguing Ford's lineup. No fuel injectors spraying gasoline onto hot manifolds, no transmissions that ghost shift into gear, no cameras that black out during critical moments. Ram's recall count remains microscopic compared to Ford's safety campaign avalanche. When a company known for electrical gremlins and build quality issues looks reliable by comparison, Ford has truly hit rock bottom. The Ram 2500 costs significantly less than a comparable F-250 Super Duty, especially in the used market where Ford's reputation problems have cratered resale values. You can buy a 3-year-old Ram for thousands less than an equivalent Ford, and you'll spend those savings on fuel instead of recall repairs. Every truck has flaws, but maybe not 90 of them in 6 months. Let's calculate the hidden costs that Ford owners face beyond the sticker price. The average 2023 Ford owner will spend $1,200 in lost wages for recall appointments, $800 in rental car fees when parts aren't available, and countless hours dealing with problems that should never exist. Your Ford's resale value plunges faster than a stock market crash. A 2-year-old Explorer that should retain 65% of its value now struggles to hit 45% because buyers know about the transmission problems. The recall stigma follows these vehicles through their entire life cycle like a bad credit score. But here's one practical tip that could save you thousands. Run your VIN through NHTSA's recall database before buying any used Ford. The website shows every safety campaign, outstanding repairs, and pending investigations. It's free, takes 30 seconds, and might prevent you from buying someone else's nightmare. Knowledge is power when Ford's quality control has failed this spectacularly. A simple VIN check gives you the ammunition to negotiate lower prices or walk away entirely when the recall list looks like a phone book. They're counting on you not doing your homework. Class action lawyers are circling Ford like sharks, smelling blood in the water, and the transmission and fire cases represent just the beginning of Ford's legal nightmare. Law firms across the country are building cases around systematic quality failures that put profits ahead of safety. The fuel injector fire risk alone could generate billions in liability claims. Imagine explaining to a jury why Ford knew about cracked injectors but continued selling vehicles until regulators forced a recall. The discovery process will reveal internal emails, engineering reports, and cost-benefit analyses that could destroy Ford's reputation permanently. Attorney Michael Rodriguez, who specializes in automotive defect cases, sees Ford's recall pattern as unprecedented. We've never seen this volume of safety campaigns from a single manufacturer in such a short time frame, Rodriguez explains. It suggests systematic failures in quality control and pre-delivery testing. The legal fees alone could bankrupt a smaller company. Ford's legal department now employs more people than some of their manufacturing plants. Ford's become my business development team, jokes one class action attorney. But the implications aren't funny for Ford shareholders. Here's the question that should terrify every Ford owner. If the current pace continues, Ford will issue 150 recalls by December. Will they double their own record for automotive disasters? The math is simple and horrifying. 90 recalls in 6 months equals 15 recalls per month. Multiply that by 12 months, and Ford could hit 180 safety campaigns in a single year. That's a recall every other day, including weekends and holidays. Current projections suggest Ford will recall more vehicles in 2025 than they actually sell. Think about that mathematical impossibility for a moment. They're recalling cars faster than they can build them. If you know someone looking for a car in 2025, send them this video so they can save thousands and avoid years of frustration. Let's not let these companies get rich on our hard-earned cash while selling us defective products. Hit subscribe right now because Ford isn't done yet. The next wave of recalls is already forming, and I'll be here to warn you before it hits. Stay alert, stay safe. Ford's recall nightmare is just getting started.